Growing Solutions Farm started in the spring of 2012. It's the signature vocational training program of the foundation that my husband and I started back in 2011. And the real impetus was our son John, who was aging out of the school system. John was a very high-functioning young man with autism who had mental health problems as well. He struggled enormously, and we became aware of the limited resources in housing, in job opportunities, in building community, and especially in psychiatric care for kids like John. We developed a strategic partnership with the Illinois Medical District and the Medical District Commission. We were so fortunate to receive this land donation for 5 years, and we knew we had to make the best use of it that we possibly could. So we put a lot of muscle, a lot of money, and all of our effort into developing this program that now serves between 20 and 30 young adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities, autism, and social and communication challenges. We're teaching them how to grow food, we're teaching them vocational skills, we're teaching workforce development skills. Most importantly, though, we're building a community on the near west side that'll be the most, hopefully, autism-friendly place in Chicago. We are working with young adults age 17 to about 28. Some of them come from one of our supported residences in the University Village neighborhood here on the near west side. Some of them come from El Raby High School in West Garfield Park. Some of them come from the Easter Seals Therapeutic Autism School that's also in the medical district. And then some hear about our program and they come from surrounding suburbs and other places in the city. There's so many levels to that question. I think that first of all, there's this incredible learning experience and pride that goes with everything from moving wheelbarrow after wheelbarrow of mulch and dirt and building beds and then planting seeds and actually harvesting a potato or a carrot or a tomato 3 months later or 6 weeks later. And that's one, I think, gigantic accomplishment and part of the learning experience. I think that for a lot of kids it's not even a comparison of eating something that's farm fresh versus something that's more processed. I think that they don't even have access at all to fresh food. So it's almost like the first experience that they have with vegetables and with produce. I think they're used to eating much more processed food, and so I think it's more, rather than a comparison, it's a first time experience for them. And I think they're surprised at how good vegetables taste. I'm 55 years old and I'm a speech pathologist by trade. But when we were raising our family in Glenview, I was lucky enough to work at a living history museum that was developed the largest 4-H program in Illinois. So I was part of starting a program that now serves 60 kids that bring up to 40 animals to the Lake County Fair every year. So I became, part of my work with John was creating programs as he grew up. He didn't fit into traditional sports programs and other things that were offered, and the agricultural experience was so wonderful for him. I'm an equestrian as well, and I love working with animals, so I became a herdsman. I worked with all the livestock at Wagner Farm, and I also worked at a large dairy farm in Wakanda called Golden Oaks Farm. So the agricultural world became very familiar to me, and because we couldn't really open a dairy farm here in Chicago, we knew we wanted to be in the agricultural spaces. Being outdoors, the kinds of work experiences that people get, the kind of community that we knew we could build using agriculture as a medium. And then also was a good business decision. We certainly want to be part of the local food movement. So, as you said, I have no experience with plants or fruits or vegetables. They're a lot easier to deal with than cattle. They don't bite you, kick you, step on you. But we put together a job description on the one of the urban agriculture sites, and that's how we first met our lead grower, Gwen Godwin. Gwen is a graduate of the Windy City Harvest Program, and everything that you see at Growing Solutions Farm was designed by, drafted by, called out by Gwen. So she's really the expert in the operations. The food for the last 2 years has been exclusively donated to an organization that we work with called Grace Seeds Ministries, run by wonderful Reverend Linda Wygant. Linda comes on Wednesdays and picks up, last year it was 1,500 pounds of food. We're already over 2,000 pounds of food. She is responsible for distributing to all different food pantries in mostly the west side that can take advantage of, as I was telling Dave, 70 pounds of kale on a Wednesday morning at 9 o'clock. So she knows where it goes, where it can be used that specific day. We have started selling food this year locally. We're selling to restaurants, and we're just developing our customer base now. Next year we'll have a market here, a farmer's market. We couldn't quite get that going this year, but I'd say 90% of what we're growing is donated. The food is distributed to pantries on the near west side. We're in a geographic area that's a food desert. And Wednesday on our harvest day, the kids take some of the food home, but right now we're at 2,000 pounds of donations to people who would have no access to fresh food in this area. We'd like to be able to scale this up as quickly as we can. We know that there's additional land available in the Illinois Medical District that we'd like to get control of. This project fits beautifully in with the mission of the district, which is wellness, health, and we're in one of the largest medical office parks in the country, one of the 6th largest, and I think that we also serve lunch here on Tuesdays as well. We're sponsored by Life Kitchen, who is a purchaser of our food and produce. So we are selling and serving food to customers in that way.
What I think when we're talking about farming as therapy is that you could just look out here, and any number of the individuals that are out here working have used this for a dual effect, meaning it's therapy, but it's also occupational and vocational training that have resulted in ongoing education all the way up to PhD level, and has helped individuals maintain their quality of life or increase their quality of life with their families because of the therapy component of this. But it's really important to understand that this is beyond therapy. You have other therapy programs working with individuals with autism and other developmental disabilities, but this goes beyond the therapy, takes it to an occupational, a vocational, and we're placing a number of individuals that are going through this program in a wide range of businesses.
My name is Tom Prinsky. I'm the owner and president of T. Castro Produce here in Chicago, and we're a company that is certified in the state of Illinois, is owned by people with disabilities. I'm personally visually impaired, legally blind, and I had a partner who's my uncle who is also visually impaired and legally blind, who recently retired. So for 25, 30 years we've been in a company that is operated here in Chicago that's owned by people with disabilities. To continue the process of including and involving people with disabilities in the workforce, in hiring and in promoting businesses owned by people with disabilities. Our paths crossed here with Growing Solutions, and we have a natural fit because I distribute fresh fruit and vegetables, and this farm obviously grows it, and we've created a working relationship. When stuff's in season, we come here every Wednesday to pick up product for our on-site farmers markets we do, and some of our customers who use this product in their menus. So we help them kind of keep the product moving. What we do with Growing Solutions is when we have our on-site farmers markets that we provide for our clients, is we invite and have had several occasions with the Growing Solutions staff joining us on the farmers market and participating in selling the product to the clients that would be at these farmers markets, so that they are in the process, these young adults, here at Growing Solutions of growing the product, planting the product, growing the product, and actually selling the product right to the public. And it is from seed to fork, if you will, that they're experiencing this whole process of farming and distributing.
I farm because I have to farm. I love teaching people how to grow their own vegetables. There is a mind, body, spirit connection between humans and horticulture and agriculture, and it's very important for me to teach people how to farm. My mom and my grandma, they always had vegetable gardens, so I would help them as a child with whatever it is they needed. And then as time went on, I had my own garden at home. And then I decided to get my Master Composters and my Master Gardener certificate. The Master Gardeners came first. And even though I had some vegetable garden experience, I wanted more knowledge on that. So I chose the youth gardens. So at the time they were called the Green Youth Farms from the Chicago Botanic Gardens. Now they're called the Windy City Youth Farms. So I volunteered with them and still do on occasion for about 6 years, 7 years. When in there, I got my Master Composters through Garfield Park Conservatory. And from there, I decided to change careers. I have a theater background, lighting design, stage management. I was a production electrician for 20 years at one of the performing arts colleges in the city. So I decided to go to the Windy City Harvest Urban Sustainable Agricultural Program, go through that program. And that's a professional program. So I did that for 9 months, and my internship was marketing. It's something that I don't have a lot of experience with, so I chose that area. And so marketing was my thing, and from that, I interviewed for jobs, and I got hired at at Growing Solutions Farms. And I met Julie actually during my internship. She was one of the group that came through, so she met me, she remembered me from that market, so that was kind of funny. A year later that I'm actually working for her. And since then, I've gotten a certificate in business entrepreneurship for urban sustainable farming, aquaponics, and I'm going to take an edible landscape and rooftop certificate program as well, all through Windy City Harvest via the Chicago Botanic Gardens.